Inspiration Wednesday. I am getting to the end of my journal and I'm kind of finding it difficult to play back here because my pages are so thick. But I am probably going to prop this side up to work on this book today, and I'm going to get some gesso and I'm going to gesso these pages and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I caught myself totally falling into the trap that, I have to do something fabulous because, you know, it's not entry worthy. But you know what, that's not really what Inspiration Wednesday is about. Inspiration Wednesday is about just taking things that you have and playing and experimenting and coming up with, you know, just a new way to play. So, what I've done is I found a whole bunch. I emptied out my bag from CHA, finally. So these are all the catalogs I had, and that's helping me prop my book up so it's more level. But I also found these, which are, they're called Candy, and they're from 3 of these cute little ladies from England. Dropped these off at my booth, and I'm just going to play with them. They're basically like paper fake brads, if that makes sense. And they call them Candy. I liken them to candy that you put on those little dots that you get lick off. So I think I'm going to play around with these and like just create a textured background. There's also metal ones that I have. I mean, they come in a whole bunch of different colors. I'll link to their website. There's a million in here. And I think I'm just going to play with them on the background and just kind of glue them down and see what pattern I come up with and maybe paint over it, or I don't know, just going to play. I'll be back. Alright, so I've been playing around with what adhesive, what am I going to glue these down with? And I thought, well, I could use liquid, 450 quick dry, but then I'd like individually be gluing them down. If I made strings of it, it would still be a resistant. I don't know if that's what I want. Then I thought maybe gel medium, but then I'm not sure that's what I want either. So then I thought like modeling paste, which I have a new jar here. This takes a little bit longer to dry, I'd say about an hour, but it's like marshmallow fluff. And it's textural, and you would put it down with a palette knife. So scoop it out. That's a dirty one. Let me put this up there. Scoop it out like this, kind of like you were icing a cake. And you just kind of spread it, and you would add texture, and if I wanted to make mountains or things like that. So now, I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't know what I'm doing, but I guess I'll have to figure it out. So I guess I'm just creating, I don't know if you can see that texture on my page. I will tell you, it's a little bit wonky. Like I said, this won't dry right away. It takes a little while to set up, but I also want it thick enough that when it does dry, it's going to dry with those little candy dots in it. So I have some surface to press them into. And this is also a medium, meaning like, you know, it's a golden medium. I'm actually using Liquitex, so that's all I had in my drawer, but it can mix with paint. So if I didn't want it to be white, I could have mixed it with, you know, acrylic paint color. So now let's see. Let's just going to press these in. And they should kind of recess in there. Alright, so I've laid them all out. I think I'm just going to do the left side today, just a single page. Laid them all out, and now I'm going to dry. So you can heat gun this to accelerate the drying time, and I'll be back once these are kind of dried and embedded in there. Alright, so here's a thought. What color do you think cobalt teal and ultramarine violet will make when you mix them together? So, put some out on a piece of paper here. I figured I'd share this experience with you and see what color they make, because I have no idea. It might make a gross color. It might make a color I like. They make blue. I'm going to just go with it. It's a weird blue, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to move these books now. And I think I'm just gonna brush it over this. Just gonna go with whatever today. Actually, I kind of like that in some ways I'm picking up turquoise. I'm picking up the blue. Now you can see all the texture and those little dots, but I'm gonna see, now I want to spray this and have it kind of run off. Lord knows what I'm creating today. It's an experiment. Alright, let's see what happens when I spray. I got all kinds of water over there. I'll clear that up. Okay, that's kind of funky in a weird kind of way. It's something I couldn't create naturally, or just create. I'd have to do that. So I think, running everywhere. I'm going to dry this just as it is, keeping that texture, keeping that kind of bling look in there. And I'll be back once it stops dripping. Okay, it really looks cool. I gotta be honest with you. Okay, and my page, it's just like weird floppy, like it's totally not dry, but it's dry, if that makes sense. And I'm heating it so much that the epoxy or the enamel accents from last week are sticking the other side. So I'm just putting that in there just to kind of help that. But my favorite part of this is this like little piece of turquoise, this vein that's running through. So that got me thinking I might want to put a little bit more turquoise in there. If I can manage to do it without kind of painting it turquoise. So I'm thinking I might need to almost dry brush some in there. I'm liking that. So I'm taking just very, very little paint onto my brush and kind of tapping it off just so that the tips have the color. And I'm just kind of brushing that through there. Just give it a little more turquoise edge. I love how it catches on the texture, and then I kind of like how there's still a little white in it. So I'm just spraying some water where there's like the textured areas, and maybe I can get some of the paint out. Alright, now I don't know what I'm going to do from here, so I'll be back. Alright, so I pulled out from my stash some of the Jenny Bolin vellum butterflies, and I kind of like that you can't see them because I think I want to do some kind of three-dimensional grass or flower. So right now I'm playing with that idea. I'll be back when I whip something else out from my stash. I don't know. Alright, so this is where we are. I got this really cute flower, one of my cream of flowers. I think I'm even going to keep it white. I'm kind of liking the peacefulness of this. And then I pulled this out, which obviously doesn't go because of the turquoise, but I'm thinking, what if I picked the flowers off? Like, what if I, like the cool part of it, I just cut them off? Well, let's find out. Sorry, blue flowers. Like that. Oh, I'm liking that. And I like the subtle hint of the butterflies in the background. Kind of liking that. Alright, I'll be back once I figure out what I'm doing here. Alright, so I'm adhering this stem to the page, and people always ask, like, what's the best way to adhere it? You could go along the stem, but usually it doesn't really matter because not all the parts are going to stick down to the page. I just try to get the surface areas I think that are going to be touching the page. And I'm using some 450 quick dry because obviously I want it to dry quick. And we'll see if we can get that. Oh, I did on the wrong side. Well, that's not good. Now I gotta go this way. One moment, please. Minor mishap. It happens to the best of us. Alright, so now my little spiral thing is going in the opposite direction. Now my flower will be adhered to my page this way. Note to self. Check on the direction of your flower before you adhere it down. Okay. Now, what should secure it to the page is the actual flower itself. So, I'll put that somewhere about right there. That stem into place. Alright, so as for what comes next, I have no idea, but I'm happy with that. Maybe I might even add some color, not sure. Kind of like that it's peaceful. And I will be back. Alright, I'm totally loving this, hoping that the camera can see it because of the angle. Totally loving that. Opted to put the second flower on there, and now I'm thinking, what would happen if I sprayed Perfect Pearls on here? Now, Perfect Pearls actually shows up better on darker colors, so I don't really know what it's going to turn out like. And this is one of my favorites. It's the Heirloom Gold. And I have no idea, and I'm spraying it with their silver too, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Let's just see. It could be disastrous, or it just could be fantastic. So, let's try it and find out. Totally liking it. Totally love the gold. I even heated the butterflies so they kind of started to curl. Now I'm thinking, what if I did put a little splash of like watercolor right in the center of the flower? What would happen? So I'm going to try to wet the centers of these flowers. Let's see if I can tip this up again. And get a brush and see what happens if I take some quinacridone magenta watercolor and drop it into the center of that flower. Hopefully I like it. Maybe is it purple? Should I do purple? Oh, no going back now. So it's finally dry. I will tell you that I kind of melted some butterflies in the process. And I want to put something here. And I had this because I liked it with the silver. But then I have like old pieces of watches. I've had them forever. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to kind of make a shadow box where that would move around inside of there? So I think I'm going to try to adhere this down. I'm going to use quick dry. I hope that works. Here's going to be the trick. I don't want that metal piece to get stuck while this is drying, so hopefully it stays right there. Alright, I'm going to let that dry and see how it goes. Alright, so I've come up with the idea that I want to stamp on here, and of course my book is really thick, and chance it could not come out perfectly, but I want my Soul Blossoms right in that spot. And this is a stamp by Red Lead, and I'll put a link on the blog. Again, hopefully I picked the writing pad that actually has ink in it. Looks like it. Alright, so here's what's the chances I'm going to get this to go the right the first time. Yeah! Okay, so that was a little moment I had, but yes, I got it. My Soul Blossoms. And with that, I think I am officially, I can't be officially done. There's no tag. I need a brown hole. What am I thinking? I think I only have the bad brown holes left in my stash. I need to go get some more from the studio. But let's put the date on there. Let's find out what date it is. Computer says it's the 9th. Alright, so February 9th, 2011. If this guy will radiate if I spray him. We'll see. Alright, I got my tiny attacher at the ready. I think I'm going to staple him. Look, everything's stuck together because I was heating so much. One moment, please. Your call is important to us. Look at that. Well, it's dry. Oh, wrong way. Tiny attach that sucker. And voila! It's done. And hopefully this guy will shake around. Maybe not. Maybe he's just stuck there. Maybe after a while he'll shake around. Probably has a little glue on him. But that's it for today. Hope you had a great Wednesday. See you next week.